For more than 130 years, one name has echoed through history as a synonym for terror, mystery, and the darkest corners of the human soul: Jack the Ripper. His 1888 reign of terror in the alleys of Victorian London created a legend that has captivated and horrified generations. 5 women were brutally, a city was gripped by fear, and the killer vanished without trace, leaving a mystery behind. What if there was more than a century of silence? A single piece of evidence from time could be brought into light. A sick shawl, allegedly found at the scene of one of the murders, has been subjected to cutting-edge forensic science. The results claim to offer a name, a face, and a story that can finally unmask the killer. But is it the final shocking answer to the question? Who was Jack the Ripper? Or is it just another tantalizing yet flawed piece of puzzle? The Autumn of Terror. To understand this new claim, we have to go back to the streets. Their names was Mary Ellen Nichols, Anna Chapman, Elizabeth Stroud, Catherine, and Mary Jane Kello. They are known as the Cynical Five. The victim of Jack the Ripper. For too long, they were dismissed as simple prostitutes, but the modern history has argued that they were struggling to survive day to day. The murders were just killings. They were acts of unimaginable brutality. The victims were horrifically mutilated with a degree of precision that suggested that the killer had a medical or surgical knowledge. Police force was completely over his head. They were dealing with a type of crime they ain't never seen before. There was no fingerprint, no criminal profiling, no anything. For over a century, it had made a lot of noise. Catherine Eddowes, September 30th, 1888, goes that she came from the crime scene and was passed down through her family for generations. It was a shawl she had. In 2007, an author named Russell Edwards bought the shawl at an auction, convinced that it might hold the key. Scientific DNA had came through, some powerful traces. What about the other line on it? The shawl had blood DNA from the suspect. They first tracked it, had a genetic profile, but they needed more of a suspect. This is where the investigation took a turn for the worse. Solving a 130-year-old mystery is crazy, but a Polish barber named Aaron Kosimski research reported a match, and so I came with Jack the Ripper. So who was Aaron Kosimski? He was a Polish Jewish immigrant who fled persecution and settled in London, working as a barber in the heart of the soul of Whitechapel. He lived near the murder scenes and was there 23 when killings occurred. He wasn't just a random person. Police at the time considered him a suspect. 1894, a police memo named Kosimski suspected a great hatred towards women. Kosimski suffered a mental illness. In 1891, had deteriorated. He was committed to a mental asylum, where he remained to his death until 1919. The science by itself, the DNA, is unique. In 2019 was a paper later issued expression of concern. Raw data of re-examination, citing as an instrument of failure. These are thoughts about the case. So where does this leave us? The 2019 study said genetic link to Aaron, his profile as a suspect, to his crimes known as misogyny and deteriorating mental state all were together form a very convincing picture. But the present question remains about the shawl. A lot of evidence. Jack the Ripper was born, and it seems that even though in the modern face of technology, what do you think? Is this compelling science, or is another unproven chapter in the dark history of enduring legends? Let us know your theories in the comments below. This is Cashmere Matter from Hopes and Sons Production.